Alright guys, it's Honey Jefe here. Right here by the... This is kind of what you do with boxes. When you either have frames that you want cleaned up because you extracted the honey and you want the bees to clean them up before you store them or freeze them and then store them, which is what I like to do. Or you have some dead outs or some hive abscond, some hives abscond or leave or die. You kind of leave it right here for the random bees. I'm gonna walk up here. So these bees are not protective. They're not defensive. They don't live here. Excuse the some dogs tearing up my fence. I did repair that, so excuse the center blocks, but I'm sticking my hand. I'm not getting stung. That doesn't mean you can't get stung, but they're not defending their hive. They're just coming here and robbing out you know, what's left. Bits of pollen, bits of nectar. It's easy for them to get. They'll clean these frames. And so what I'll do is at the same time, moths are coming in here and they're laying eggs, and the wax moths, and they'll destroy the wax if you don't get to it in time. And so as these bees are cleaning this out, I'll take some Sertan and I'll start spraying them before all the larvae hatches. Of course, I'm late for a lot of it. Some of the stuff's already been destroyed. But these guys over here have been cleaned out for a few weeks. I need to get down in there. I'm scared to look. But got a lot more of this to come. This row here is from I guess which apiary is that from? I guess the brown apiary. And the supers up there, these were honey supers. It has some nectar in there. I don't have any room right now to freeze them and store them for next season to put back on and let the bees use it. So I'm just letting the bees take advantage of it now because it's a tough time for the bees. Now these aren't my bees. These aren't bees that come from my hives. You wouldn't want to do this next to your beehives or be in the habit of doing that, because it basically invites every bee in the neighborhood to come around, and they start snooping around and they start catching your hives. If you're doing it next to in your apiary, they start snooping around looking at other beehives they don't know about. They get curious and they start trying to bring all their buddies from their home to the new hive, and they start trying to rob it out, which I've lost several hives this year from robbing. It's just a frustrating thing. So as I ramble on here in this short video, this is just an example of what you do. It's part of the process. And so, like I said, when these bees in a few days are not as busy like in some of these hives, I'll spray them with Sertan. I'll put them in the freezer, and then probably spray them again, pulling them out of the freezer, because I'm not absolutely certain how the freezing affects the Sertan. But so they get sprayed twice. I'll put them back in the boxes and store them in the garage, just like that. And then when wax moths come and lay eggs on them, it's not going to bother them. The larvae will die. There's not any honey in there, no nectar, because the bees have cleaned it out before I freeze them. And they're good for the next go around, next season. And I got all these frames. I'm gonna be throwing a lot of them away though, because they're so old. I'll listen to my other videos and I'll say I got some dated back in 1978, and the videos I'll be talking about that and saying I got some some frames dated 1976. I'm not consistent with my year, but I do have some dated back in the 1970s. I think as early as or as late as 76. So those kind of frames, and they're brood frames. I'll be taking those out and sending maybe a few of them off to a lab just to get looked at out of curiosity. And I'll throw the others away. I'm not even going to try to harvest the wax out of them. But it's always interesting. It's really fun when you have just like thousands of bees. I mean, these are hundreds. And I need to stack them all like this. These are stacked on top, but here they get cleaned out a lot quicker. I need to hurry up and take care of them too. So I'm sure people driving by, they see this. I don't care so much. I think most people like the fact that there's bees around here. But you know, a lot of these beehive boxes, I'm gonna have to repair, fix the corners, like this corner in here, get it a little bit tighter. You see this nail that's worked its way out right here. That's just from getting wet and expanding. I'll glue all this back in and I'll re-wax these boxes before the next season. And it'll look more like this. But this is kind of one of the more fun parts, I think, of beekeeping. Is this doing this, especially after a good honey extraction. It's a lot of fun to watch, and it keeps people away from your house, which is the most fun, or the biggest benefit. If you put one by the front door, man, it solves so many problems. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.